Others have tried. Today, it appears Brad Ashford has done it, defeating Republican Lee Terry for a seat in the House. Good evening. I'm Rob McCartney.
And I'm Brandy Peterson. This afternoon, Terry conceded to Ashford. It all came down to numbers. Ashford pulled in 76,000 votes. Terry brought in 72,000.
Here's KATV News Watch 7's Adrian Whitsett. Adrian?
Yeah, solutions are only successful if they're nonpartisan. That's what Brad Ashford told his supporters at his second victory rally Wednesday. Ashford acknowledged that instead of the 25 friends he pledged to find in Washington to build a consensus for change, he may need 50 after some losses on the Democrat side of the ticket yesterday. Ashford said, "To me, though, it's on the Democrats to help change perception, working with Republicans to find solutions." The representative-elect says that's what he did in Lincoln.
Right now, I'm just very excited about the opportunity to do what I've tried to do in Lincoln for 16 years, and that is, try to make tough decisions on big issues. And that's, to continue to do that is what's thrilling.
Well, Ashford thanked Lee Terry for the concession phone call this afternoon. It happened about an hour and a half before his victory speech outside his home. He also thanked Lee Terry for his many years representing the state in the district he will now take over. Rob, Brandy, back to you.
Adrian, thanks. And then after fighting words last night, Lee Terry calmly and with some humor conceded.
At his campaign headquarters, Terry remembered the good times and his accomplishments, not the attack-filled campaign that ended in defeat. KATV News Watch 7's Dave Roberts is live, continuing our team coverage.
Analysts once again say that Lee Terry failed to ignite his base. Let's take Douglas County, for example. Here in the Senate race, 74,000 people voted for Ben Sasse, but only 57,000 people voted for Lee Terry. That's 17,000 people that voted Republican in the Senate race, but voted Democrat or Libertarian in the House race.
And after deep, intensive analysis, we've come to this conclusion. Brad Ashford got more votes than I did.
Lee Terry didn't waste time getting to the truth. He lost, and he knew it. It's his first failed campaign in 16 years.
Truly honored to have been picked 8 times by the people of the 2nd District to represent them. It's an honor that I take to heart and will stay with me for the rest of my life.
With his wife Robin by his side, the congressman reflected on his time in office.
I've always tried to do what was right for this country. Putting people first, our country first, was always my value and my goal.
Terry pushed for U.S. energy independence, most publicly the Keystone XL pipeline. And when he pushed to keep his seat, things got ugly with attack ads that gained national attention. Today, he says it's not about what worked and didn't work, but moving on.
We're not going to do any more analysis. That's what it comes down to. Democracy wins, and I respect our democracy, and I congratulate Brad on winning this race.
Immediately following his concession speech, Terry left and said he didn't want to take any questions. He's celebrating his teenage son's birthday today and says that's what he's going to focus on now. We're live at Lee Terry's congressional office. Dave Roberts, KATV News Watch 7.
Thank you, Dave. Questions about uncounted votes caused tension in the early morning hours, especially in this very close congressional race.
KATV News Watch 7's Alexander Stone continues our team coverage, getting answers about what happened or didn't happen in Douglas County.
As of this morning, 15,000 early voting ballots and 2,400 provisional ballots had yet to be verified and counted right here. Now, Commissioner Dave Phipps says this happens in every election. It's just that when races get tight, it puts pressure on the people counting the votes. The drop box door closed Tuesday filled with ballots. But many of those early votes were still in stacks Wednesday morning, waiting to be counted.
We were counting just like we normally were, and yeah, this happens every single election.
Now the drop box is quiet, and a new sound fills the Election Commission: scanners. That's the sound of workers trying to process thousands of ballots still waiting to be counted. These ballots right here get scanned in and verified, then they're put into cardboard boxes and taken to be counted. Douglas County Election Commissioner Dave Phipps says his teams counted 22,000 early votes before Election Day. And another 9,000 got counted in the early hours Wednesday morning, with people working till 3:30 a.m. But this year, more voters decided not to wait for Election Day to cast a ballot.
The public is more and more inclined to want to send in what we call absentee ballots or early voting mail-in ballots. And that number really surged this year, primarily in the big counties.
Dave Phipps says it's normal to still be counting early votes and provisional ballots after Election Day. But Tuesday night, when the Nebraska congressional race was close,
I'm very frustrated, if not angry.
Voters and candidates didn't want to wait for results.
Once you get a high-profile race that is very close, people get very excited, and they want to know what's going on right now.
Phipps says the early votes should be counted by Friday. Those provisional votes, they can actually get those counted by next Tuesday, and it's all still in line with the rules. As for a recount, state law only requires those to happen when the difference between the votes is within 1% of the top vote getters' total. Another interesting thing to note, Phipps tells us the Democrats outweighed Republicans 2-to-1 in terms of people who mailed in requesting the early voting materials. He says that's possibly attributable to tear-off mailings that the Democratic campaign actually sent to voters. Reporting live, Alexandra Stone, KETV News Watch 7.
Alexandra, thanks. One race there were no questions about, the battle to be Nebraska's next governor. Pete Ricketts winning the job with relative ease. And in his first sit-down interview as governor-elect, Ricketts tells our Christina Engdahl he'll start looking for new leadership for troubled state agencies, Health and Human Services, the Department of Corrections. He says to accomplish those changes, he'll need to work closely with the state legislature, including with politicians with vastly different views than his, like State Senator Ernie Chambers.
Talk about Senator Chambers. He and I are both against expanded gambling here in the state. So there's an issue where we can start finding that common ground and hopefully build that relationship to be able to take it forward.
Ricketts will be sworn into office January 8th. He's meeting with outgoing Governor Dave Heineman tomorrow to discuss the transition between their two administrations.
Well, in the race for Senate, Ben Sasse won all 93 counties in Nebraska. In 40 of them, he brought in more than 75% of the vote. In 20 counties, that voter support hit at least 80%. For the first time, Iowa voters are sending a woman to the U.S. Senate. The Republican Joni Ernst takes a seat with 52% of the vote. Bruce Braley received 44%. Ernst says you have to have a thick skin for campaigning, and she applauds any woman who decides to run for office.
I believe that I was the right candidate at the right time, but we have now broken through that glass ceiling here in Iowa.
Today, Ernst says she is relieved and that she wants to focus on finding common ground to get things done in Washington. Now, you can get more election coverage on KETV.com. We have all the election results online, so you can check the races that are important to you.